Ghana's lawmakers call on the UK to remain in the EU. Time for News Hour live on GBC24 and GTV. Good evening. My name is Yokoka Kutre and I am Micheline Taka. You're welcome. Still on Brexit, the country's lawmakers on Wednesday called on the United Kingdom to remain in the European Union. In a debate in the House, MPs expressed the view that remaining in the EU will be more beneficial to the United Kingdom than leaving the 28-member bloc ahead of the votes in the UK. The Leave and Remain camps attempted to appeal to those instincts as they squared off for a fiery 2-hour televised great debate billed as the final centerpiece of the campaign. At London's Wembley Stadium, 6 speakers representing the opposing camps clashed on such core issues as whether leaving the EU would help or hurt Britain's economy. Russia businesses are to take up equally investment in Ghana. The decision comes on the heels of the participation of the Vice President, Mr. Mr. Arthur, in the International Economic Forum, a meeting in St. Petersburg between Mr. Arthur and more than 800 representatives from around the world discussed Accra's ability to offer a high return on investment in addition to its position as the gateway to West Africa. Nuto Bibinunuto, who was on the trip to Moscow, has the story on the country's position as a major take-off point into a West African market of more than 300 million.
The St. Petersburg International Economic Forum is a yearly event. This year, Ghana was invited to be among the 800 high-level participants from across the world. The opening panel discussion included the President of Guinea, Alpha Conde, Vice President Mr. Arthur, and Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdan. The discussion centered on Russia-Africa trade and the need to advance new frontiers. According to the IMF, last year, Ghana's GDP per capita of $1,304.4 represented a 5.9% increase over that of 2008. It was also higher than many countries in sub-Saharan Africa. This gave Ghana the bargaining chip, and its Vice President Mr. Arthur made a case for increased trade between Russia and Africa, describing the current levels as unsatisfactory.
Have a relationship between a country and a continent in which a developed country is looking for markets for manufactured goods, it's looking for resources to drive its industry. Now, on the side of Africa, our vision is different. Our vision is one in which we are seeking support, cooperation to develop our economy, to develop the natural resources that abound on our continent. Also, clearly two different visions. That may be the reason why we don't seem to be cooperating in the way that Africa does not see itself just as a market. We think that it is more than that. It is to develop the means of production, to help to develop the well-being, development, and the well-being of our people. So we are seeking support, cooperation, investment in order to develop our economies.
There was a general agreement that though Russia has the financial capacity to invest in Africa, which is home to 7 of the world's 10 fastest growing economies, the truth of the matter is that Russia has not taken advantage of the situation to crank up trade relations with the continent, especially in the aftermath of the Cold War. Vice President Mr. Arthur said it was time Russia, one of the world's most industrialized nations, moved economic diplomacy to the center of its foreign policy decisions, especially on Ghana.
There must be a strategic commitment from the Russian Federation to support the development of the resources in Africa. And that must be done in a participatory manner. We should not just be looking at the old narrative of companies that are coming to exploit natural resources, export them, and then we import manufactured commodities. So there must be a change of the narrative. That's the first objective I think that this 16 should achieve. Secondly, we also have an Africa of over 50 countries that need to integrate the economies to a large extent, because you can't have essentially small, medium enterprises dealing with global conglomerates. The competition is unequal, the relationship is unequal. So we in Africa are developing strategies to move the economies ahead through regional integration efforts. That's happening in all the sub-regional groups. We need support because it will help in other countries if this regional integration that improves markets, that allows for them to also achieve the objectives.
It will be very helpful for all of us.
The consensus was for Russia, with its influence, resources, as well as financial muscle of its captains of businesses, to consider equity investment in Ghana and Africa as a whole if it wants to remain relevant in the new economic order. GBC24, St. Petersburg.
Chokome near Botiano in Accra now has a training center for fishermen. The project, supported by the USAID, is expected to boost fish production. The fisheries sector is estimated to contribute 3% of the total GDP. About 10% of the country's population is engaged in the fishing industry.
The establishment of the center will help improve fish smoking as well as fish processing. Also high on the agenda of the Ministry of Fisheries is to use the center to educate fishermen on how illegal means of fishing depletes fisheries stock. Child labor in fishing communities will also receive attention during the training at the center. In an interview, the manager of the center, Emilia Notte, says the way out for Ghana's fishing industry is to adopt sustainable fishing practices.
The purpose is to build the capacity of fishers. When we say fishers, we mean fishermen, fishmongers, fish traders, and everybody who handles fish in a way. To let them know the laws that are coming. Day in, day out, new stoves are being developed for processing. They are exposed to those new stoves, and then they take an informed decision as to which stove they want to use to smoke which fish.
The USAID funded and supported the project through the Sustainable Fisheries Management Project. The executive director of the Development Action Association, Madame Lydia Sasu, was upbeat that with education, the fishermen will not only develop skills on latest trend in the fishing industry, but also learn proper fishing ethics.
We are looking forward for quality fish or transferring of technology, the technology that we learned. We are looking forward that we train others. Now, most of them are old. We have the youth coming up. We have so many people along the line who even doesn't know how to smoke fish or where the fish come from, but they can come here.
Hopefully, next year, a permanent center will be constructed at Kokrobite in the Greater Accra region.
Still on the fishing industry, a $7.8 million fish processing plant is under construction at Elmina. The project in the central region is being funded by a credit facility from the Indian Exim Bank. Expected to be operational this year, the plant will also produce feed to support aquaculture development in the country.
The Fisheries Minister, Madam Sherry Aiti, met fish farmers at Inchi and Sifirioso at Inchi. The over 150 fish farmers from Awin and Suaman districts made a fervent appeal to the minister to ensure that they are provided with fingerlings, feed and credit facilities. They complained about the lack of agricultural extension officers in the area to support their work.
And I'm saying, Abrofofi bibi ka bibi say fingerlings ye benya enam pa ye de begum enam a ye de gum nyina ye de dadaada ewomi na awo aye yintini nyina ye keten sa.
The minister said the fisheries laws and various interventions the ministry is putting in place is to make fish farming attractive and economically viable.
Anche ye ni cooperative for mpanyifo no ye ba chiche mu nyina na ya mamu training, constant training. Sesi ano ya tuto Equipment you train pond guns. Every region will be.
At Sefirioso, the minister met fish farmers from the Sefirioso municipality, their Contombra, Joaboso, Bia West, Bia East, and Bwedi districts. The minister assured the farmers of government support. Madam Sherry Aiti also visited a number of fish ponds. Most of the farmers here have large fish ponds that are producing large quantities of catfish and tilapia. One farm she visited was the ELB Farms at Sefirioso, which has 10 concrete fish ponds with 8,000 pieces of catfish and 5,000 pieces of tilapia. The manager of the farm, Mr. Kwekuche, spoke to GBC24.
The Juma, Oya Wadwin say, oh, yeah, now you need boa. Sisia, your shall say, was your nipa be 10 a year Juma. Or how, if you say, one more near and Kohua, one bit marry, oh, Dakoro, to 10 years old, ni bahon, especially in Siona, who you say 10 be 3 days, we also send Siono. Then I am one being young.
Well, it's a rather sad story, and 2 young men with unknown identities have been beaten to death at Biadane Sabeb, a break home in the Bonahafo region. The 2 suspected thieves are said to have stolen a multi-TV decoder from a house. According to an eyewitness, the 2 unknown men came to the said house and requested for water. After they drank the water, one of the men was seen coming out of the hall with a multi-TV decoder. Shouts from residents in the community made a mob chase after the men, and they were lynched to death. I must apologize for those disturbing pictures. You're watching.
Hello, you most welcome to the business news. My name is Esther Edu Ohumeu. The country's gross domestic product, it grew by 4.9% in the first quarter of the year compared to 4.5% for the same period in 2015. The government statistician Dr. Philomena Nyako said on Wednesday that the service sector recorded the highest growth of 8.8%.
Has grown by 4.9%. It may go up again or it may go down depending on the dynamics within the economy. In monetary terms, the value of the economy is 37,515.8 million Ghana cedis. That's the value of the economy.
Moving on, GM Bank has presented awards to winners of its People's Gift promo. The winners, Vincent Brown and Anthony Atokwansa, took home the ultimate prize, a brand new Ford Focus saloon car.
The GN Bank's People's Gift promotion was introduced in November 2015. The promotion was to mobilize revenue whilst at the same time rewarding customers for their loyalty. Customers were to deposit 200 Ghana cedis into any of the bank's deposit products and earn coupons. The winning prizes included motorbikes, generators, fridges, LED television sets, and mobile phones. In the final draw, 3 customers won. The third prize of 15,000 Ghana cedis went to Maracas Travel and Tours at Walewale in the northern region. The second prize, which was a paid trip for 2 to South Africa, plus $2,000, went to Francis Edagbi from Yeji. The first prize, a brand new Ford Focus, went to a joint account holders, Vincent Brown and Anthony Kwansa from Elmina. The board director of GN Bank, Mr. Charles Boachinimakon, said the bank will continue to provide tailor-made products to attract customers.
Through this promotion, we've acquired lots of customers for life. We'll provide them with an excellent service that will make them stay with us. We are counting on the patronage of all Ghanaians to make GN Bank the most successful indigenous bank, if not the most successful bank in the country.
The director of the bank, Lily Akwe, said GN Bank will continue to make the people their focus.
The people are our focus. They are the reason we have products. Our customer service is excellent. And so we will continue to make the people our focus and continue to make sure that we're deserving of the phrase, the People's Bank.
The winners were excited.
I'm so honored. I'm happy for this award. I'll be traveling with my wife to South Africa.
In Ghana, to buy a brand new car, Nigeria people said that tier rubber is not easy. By God's grace, through GN promo, we have won this car.
Beatrice Sanaju, GBC24, Accra.
Is less than 24 hours away from a referendum on the country's membership of the European Union. In an interview with GBC24, the chief executive of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Mr. James Tiga, disclosed that an exit vote will not have much effect on trade with Ghana. In the area of trade, the United Kingdom's bargaining position is enhanced by being part of the European Union, which is the world's largest trading bloc and accounts for some 20% of global GDP. Ghana has over the years had a strong trade relationship with Britain and by large the EU. With regards to trading in non-traditional exports, the chief executive of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Mr. James Tiga, said the volume of trade between the two countries cuts across sectors.
The WTO is the one guiding all these processes, and we are all as countries signed up to them. UK leaving EU would not change the rules. It will still have to go along the rules that are guiding trade today. And so I don't think it will have a very serious impact on our exports to the EU. Now, there is something that may affect us indirectly. That is, some of our exporters have chosen the UK as their point of distribution. In other words, the export to the UK and export to the EU market. That if the UK comes out, they may have one or two problems because it will mean that they will have to relocate or still find a way of re-exporting to the EU market.
Mr. Tiga says Ghana and the EU, with Britain inclusive, are all bound by trade regulations by the World Trade Organization, and thereby an exit would not have dire consequences on Ghana.
Basically, what we do, to the EU, for instance, our cocoa paste, for 2014, we had a total amount that went to EU globally as 955,888,025 million US dollars. And I can break down like the main things that go to the EU are cocoa paste, canned tuna, cocoa powder, aluminium sheets, coils and plates, freshly cut fruits, natural rubber, shea butter, shea nuts, banana, and fresh or chilled tuna.
The only thing that is clear is the fact that the exit of the UK from the EU would bring far-reaching changes for Ghana and Africa as a whole. But Ghanaian business operators are upbeat that the UK will stay in the EU single market to avoid any hiccups. On the interbank market, the cedi gained 2 pesewas to the euro and lost a pesewa to the dollar. And now some insurance news brought to you by SIC Life. Contributions to the 2-tier and 3 pension scheme managed by private entities jumped from 48 million Ghana cedis in 2012 to 2.2 billion in 2015. Fund managers are upbeat the figure will surge this year, but insist that more needs to be done to educate the informal sector.
The National Pensions Act 266 of 2008 was passed into law in 2010 to reform the sector and inject private sector participation into the process. The reform saw the introduction of the second and third tier component managed by private fund entities. Tier 3 is a voluntary contributory scheme for workers in both the private and public sector who want to make voluntary contributions to enhance their pension benefits.
Tier 1 and 2 are mandatory, which every worker in the formal sector will have to contribute. Workers in the informal sector, so here we're referring to dressmakers, we're referring to blacksmiths, carpenters, welders, beauticians, and many other self-employed workers, also being able to provide for their pensions. And again, they can also provide a total of 35% of their income every month towards pensions. It allowed them to do so under two schemes. The first one we call the savings account, and then the second one is a retirement scheme.
6 years after its introduction, market watchers are of the view that not only has it benefited the pensioner, but also placed funds in the hands of private commercial banks to invest in long-term projects. The managing director of First Bank Financial Services, a leading fund manager in the country, Samuel Esiedu, talks about other benefits the reform has brought to the private sector.
There is an investment guide issued by the regulator, which guides all investment being by private pension fund managers. And as I mentioned, some can go as much as 75% into banks, GOG, treasury bills, also up to 35%. Again, corporate bonds can also take up to 30%. Now, all these are sectors that can enjoy significantly, and they are well defined. Whereas if we compare to before the reforms, decisions of investment were solely at the discretion of, Senate, which was the monopoly service provider at the time. So there are more money that are available to be accessed and to be channeled into other sectors of the economy.
He is of the view that contributions to the two tiers will jump this year if much effort is put into awareness creation to bring on board workers in the informal sector.
And that's all for business. Thanks for watching.
You're watching News Hour, and this is the health segment brought to you by kindness of FPAC. FPAC blows your pain away. The Department of Herbal Medicine at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology was established in 2001 to train herbal medical doctors. The school has so far trained over 100 herbal medical doctors who are now practicing in some herbal clinics in the country. However, the school is facing some challenges in the area of logistics. GBC24 was at KNUST to speak to the head of department of the herbal medicine, Dr. Kofi Annan.
The Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology was established in 1953. The department runs a 2-year comprehensive course in pharmacy, leading to the award of the Pharmacy Board certificate. The department was turned into a faculty when the Kumasi College of Technology gained full university status in November 1961, leading to the award of its own degree from June 1964. The faculty continues to be an active partner with the Ministry of Health by rendering services to its agencies like the Food and Drugs Board, Ghana National Drugs Program, and the Center for Scientific Research into Plant Medicine, Ikuapem Mampong. In 2001, a Bachelor of Science degree in herbal medicine was introduced at the faculty. This is the first of its kind in sub-Saharan Africa. The department coordinates the 4-year multidisciplinary BSc Herbal Medicine program, basic medical, pharmaceutical, and social sciences. It aims at producing healthcare professionals who will provide primary healthcare using quality, safe, effective, and standard herbal medicine. The first batch of students graduated in 2005. The department has since produced about 160 graduates. Professor Annan indicated that the school currently is facing logistical challenges.
We need a vehicle to be taking our students to the field to do few visits and other things we don't have. So we always have to fall on other departments' vehicles and other things. Sometimes when they are also engaged, it means we will be struggling to run our program. Though we are funded by government under the Ministry of Education to run this program, we don't have direct assistance from the Ministry of Health, which should be supporting us. Unlike the School of Medicine, Pharmacy, and Dentistry, and other allied health sciences, where they have direct support from the ministry. And if we had such support, I think we would be able to do better.
He, however, indicated that government stands to benefit if it invests in herbal plants. A PhD research student, Mr. Jonathan Jato, explained the differences between the Chinese and Ghanaian herbal medicine.
One thing I don't understand about the Chinese product is they come written in Chinese, so I don't even know what it contains. So anytime somebody comes and tells me I want this, and I know that this product is a Chinese product, I look at it and I don't understand what it is, I don't recommend. But for the Ghanaian product, we have at least had time to even work on it. Sometimes a product will be on the market, we'll go and pick it and analyze it to see whether it is actually genuine. So when somebody comes, I respect the Ghanaian product more than the Chinese product. I'm not saying they are not active, okay, but I doubt their sources very much compared to the Ghanaian product.
Mr. Jonathan Jato has this advice for those who prefer other herbal medicine to that produced in the country.
I advise that most of the time we stick to our own products. Our medicines are effective. Plant medicines are very, very effective, and they are even more safer compared to the orthodox ones.
Some final year students of the faculty had this to say about why they chose herbal medicine.
Getting herbal medicine was like a blessing in disguise, because this is where you have two aspects of healthcare being merged together, all in the provision of primary healthcare, at the same time improving upon medicines.
The course is the way it is being structured is a tedious profession. So there are a lot of struggles along the line, both in academic and then when you are doing your projects.
I've learned a lot, clinical practice and then formulations of herbal products, decoction, creams, and then ointments, then many others.
The faculty also has a physics garden with over 120 species. These plants are being used for research, teaching, and learning. Some of the plants were planted as far back as 1994.
That's all in this segment. We are back after. We have more stories on the local front. Electoral Commission on Wednesday appeared before the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, but fully unprepared to face questioning from the committee. The committee therefore granted the EC officials permission to reappear in 2 weeks' time. The EC team was led by the Deputy Chairperson, Ms. Georgina Opokwamankwa.
I'm so much surprised that you attend upon the Public Accounts Committee without having a casual look at the very document on which you are going to answer questions. Is that proper?
Honorable Chairman, no, that is not proper. Unfortunately, I had traveled and just came yesterday, so I only relied on the report that was given to me by the Director of Finance.
Mr. Chairman, this is Auditor General's report for 2013. It was actually presented to Parliament or finalized on the 1st of December 2014. And we are in 2016, and the auditee is claiming ignorance about what is stated in this public document. I am very disappointed.
This is, as my brother said, one of the most revered organizations. Ironically, This is an organization that is taking political parties to tax in respect of their accounts. So if they come here and they cannot speak to their accounts, I think that there is a little problem there.
When you finish your preparations, prompt us, and then we'll invite you. When are you going to finish the preparation?
Honorable Chairman, in 2 weeks we will get back to you.
Unlike the Electoral Commission, the National Commission for Civic Education appeared to have a good defense for the anomalies contained in the audit report about it. However, the NCCE officials made some revelations to the surprise of the members of the committee and subsequently appealed for support. Since its establishment, the NCCE has been without a permanent office. It has been squatting in some offices within the premises of the Electoral Commission. Inadequate human and financial resources have also hampered their performance.
Ever since the Constitution came into being, NCC has never been given an office. So please, we have been squatting in the Electoral Commission office in 12 rooms, and it is having a very serious impact on our activity.
I don't know what to say. Actually, this is a parliamentary committee. We are MPs. So we have taken note of your plea, 2 big ones. How about your releases this year? Are they better?
Honorable Chair, first quarter, we were given 70,000 for the whole nation. Second quarter, we were given 225,000. We don't have a budget for elections.
Did you say 700,000 or 70,000?
Honorable Chair, 70,000 for the first quarter.
And how many district offices do you have?
200 district offices, 10 regional offices, and the headquarters.
So your annual monthly impact will be around maybe some 200 cities. Right. But this is something that we have to speak to the issue.
It's okay, it's okay. Don't let us wash our dirty linens so much in public, but this is serious.
Before they were cleared, the NCCE officials were asked to brief the House about their program lineup for the elections. Zero for GBC24, Parliament House, Accra.
Good evening. Let's update ourselves from happenings in the world of sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. Hearts of Folk will defend their President's Cup title on July 1 at the Accra Sports Stadium. Glorious Hearts of Folk will play Asante Kotoko in the annual match to honor the certain President of Ghana. The rivalry between two of the biggest clubs in Ghana, Accra Hearts of Folk and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, will be rekindled on Ghana's Republic Day, July 1 at the Accra Sports Stadium. Launching the event in Accra, the chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association, GALCA, Mr. Kujofiano, said the competition will not only be staged in Accra, but all regions will see regional derbies across the country. At Cape Coast, Dwarfs will play Vipers. Secondly, we'll see Azakers taking on 11 Wise. Sugakope will see Wafa battling Hearts of Lions. At Sunyani, BA United faces Tano Bofuakwa, with Mediama taking on Takwa Real United. Representatives of Hearts and Kotoko promise to win.
Hearts of Folk, we are going to give a very competitive performance on 1st July, and I can assure them that they are going to get their money's worth.
History is going to repeat itself at Accra Sports Stadium. I pray that the better team will win on 1st July.
The Youth and Sports Minister Nilanti Van der Poel urged the teams not to disappoint.
His Excellency the President himself has indicated his readiness to be at the stadium to the kickoff the match between Accra Hearts of Folk and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. We're hoping that this will mark the revival of the good work that has been done in the past to ensure that there is healthy rivalry among our clubs who are domiciled in one community or one town or one district.
The President's Cup is an annual football match put together by the Ghana League Clubs Association, GALCA, and it is to honor the sitting president of the country on every Republic Day. The two big clubs in the Western region, 11 Wise and Hazakers, played a pulsating draw at the Isipon Stadium. The encounter was the maiden edition of the Noble Logistics Unity Cup.
The match at the Isipon Stadium was to revive the rivalry between the Western Showboys also known as Ankara Kachis, and the Giants of the West. The rivalry dates back to the 60s when both teams were a dominant force in Ghana football, and their secondary base, the Jendu Park, was the Waterloo for most visiting teams. Hazakers opened the score in just under 4 minutes through Ronald Amuzu. Wise got their groove back and in the 30th minute cancelled the lead through Osman Mohamed. Hazakers striker Eric Bequin restored their image through an expertly taken free kick. In the second half, the tempo of the game increased as Wise had a penalty which their goalkeeper Nicholas Duncan scored to end the encounter 2-2. Captains of the two sides shared the experience.
Two teams in no good side no good barishana yeah better side so lack of communication and misunderstanding between keeper and defender and man doing it to me.
Local deputy on Shada and match how easy. Or to that crown now on uniform. So Bia Obaya Nide no but we win. So I'm the two teams in Bia Bono was in there. About to win, but why a draw? Didn't have game no.
Organizers said a new date will soon be announced for the replay.
Lionel Messi became Argentina's leading scorer with a superb free kick as they beat the USA by 4-0 to reach Sunday's Copa America final. Messi passed Gabriel Batistu's 54-goal tally with a 25-year strike. He also provided assist for Ezekiel Lavezzi.
Good evening. Time for entertainment news. Kintampo, one of the largest towns in the Bono-Ahafo region, is strategically located at the center of Ghana and serves as a transit point between the north and the south. Known as the District of Waterfalls, it has many interesting places for tourists to visit, key among them being the Kintampo Waterfalls and the spot believed to be the center of Ghana. Abdul Haimumin has the following report from
Kintampo is strategically located at the center of Ghana and serves as a transit point between the northern and southern sectors of the country. On a daily basis, hundreds of people stop over at Kintampo either to catch some rest, find another vehicle heading to their destination, or visit any of the tourist sites such as the Kintampo Waterfalls. In colonial days, this was known as Sanders Falls. It is located on the river Pumpum, a tributary of the Black Volta. People can go into the pool under the waterfall to have fun. On entry, a guide takes you first up to the top falls, which can be photographed, then the center falls that are difficult to see, and finally down to the far larger bottom one.
155 staircases up here.
There is a climb of 152 steps back to the car park level.
50 steps, constructed by Kiset Kumbere at the year 96. So for the going down like this, free for us, unless we are coming back.
This municipality stands at the geographical center of Ghana, and hence a monument has been erected right at the spot. I am in Kintampo, the city believed to be in the middle, right at the center of Ghana. Kintampo has been described as the middle belt. This is because it combines both the economic activities of the northern part of Ghana and that of the southern part of Ghana. And I'm standing at the exact spot where people believe is the center of Ghana. Unfortunately, this place, which could have been a source of tourist attraction, has been abandoned for many years.
Right from our childhood, we were told that Kintampo is the center of Ghana. But sometimes we come around and want to identify exact spot, which is the center. But it was always a difficult one until some years back when we were told that an old man here, who was just here, but passed away some a few years ago, actually came and said that when they were kids, they used to play around a certain platform here. So in fact, he showed them the direction and they dug and then they saw that particular platform. So there, in fact, the whole Kintampo went agog.
This tourist site is gradually becoming a white elephant despite its potential of raking in revenue for the country. Perhaps it is about time the Ghana Tourism Authority paid some attention to the development of the center of Ghana. Hi, Moomin, GBC24 in Tampo.
Thank you so much for watching. Good evening.